Hello, my name is Hendrik Rosewich. I'm a pediatric neurologist and also basic scientist from Germany at the University Hospital in Goettingen. And I'm engaged with AHC since 2004, and we did a lot of different approaches to find the gene that is causative for this disease. And we were one of the two groups that were able to identify the gene causative for AHC in 2012. Since then, meetings only on ATP1A3 have been held every year, and although there is no cure or no therapy for the patients, the knowledge that has been gained over the years is enormous, is extremely enormous. And we always say research in 1 year cannot progress that far because it takes its time, but I'm always, again and again, very happy about what's going on in just 1 year. I was totally impressed by the results that we see from the different model systems and even things we didn't thought about at the beginning, because when we thought about the pathogenesis, like if there's loss of function or if there's gain of function or if there's a dominant negative effect of these mutations, and now there are new insights into the cellular consequences by the very nice paper of Kessler and Swettner that was published very recently. So we see that also the biosynthesis and the transport of the protein can be a target of therapy, because for some mutation at least, we see that the protein got stuck in the ER. And this is a totally new thing. And another totally new thing we learned at this symposium was that kinases are somehow involved in ATP1A3. So different mutations near binding sites to kinases do affect the phenotype. Why is this that special? It is that special because there are new targets for therapies also. And while we are always talking about that, very nicely screening methods were set up. Yeah, we have so many different very good models, even though the models have to be elaborated. But this is still work in progress. And just to give you an idea, to create an inducible pluripotent stem cell from a human being and create it back to a neuron might take up to 5 years. And now we have all these lines done. And now we can really check, we have really chance to check compounds and everything. So I think this meeting was a great success because one of our main focus, we had two focuses. So we tried to balance information for parents and patients, and we also wanted to have real good basic science input. And I think we had both on that meeting, and that really stimulated me in many different ways. And I think I had the feeling that a lot of people were stimulated by that and very happy about that, because they think it's going on. What the society wants from us is that we collaborate, and I think we made a step towards that with this meeting. And further on, I'm extremely happy about what's been reached already. Aim of this research conference is to attract new and young people coming into the field. And the kinase story was totally new to us, and there are a lot of young people that are interested in the field. We all grow older, I was so happy that there were so many young people that came to me and asked things and are just coming into this field with very good ideas from very different points that really will help up to see the entire picture. So for me, it was again a very successful meeting and a very stimulating meeting that maybe takes me also emotionally through some hard times during the next year. What is AHC? So this is an issue that has been argued all the time. So there was an initial description, you all know, it came from 1993 from Eckardy, Gauthier and Ickardy, or Eckardy is the right pronunciation. And these excellent pediatric neurologists were able to describe a distinct phenotype. And this still exists. That's what we call now classical AHC. But during the extreme and enormous information that we gained on genetics and everything, and what we call reverse phenotyping, so you see symptoms in a patient you cannot really depict to a certain disease, then you do whole exome sequencing, and then you found a pathogenic mutation in ATP1A3, and this really adds 1, 2, 3, and on pieces to the puzzle. So we are now talking about a phenotypic spectrum with all these disorders, I won't name them, it's AHC, it's rapid onset dystonia, Parkinsonism, CAPOS, and so on. They are all distinct clinical features, but we have a lot of things in between, and we have a lot of things that are really somehow, I would guess, new. But there are a lot of publications that describe just part of this phenotypic spectrum. And it's still growing. And this is interesting because from the symptoms, we learn something about the protein function, and this we can then translate in our models, and then we can try to figure out how to overcome this impairment of the neurologic system. Yeah, so especially what we call typical AHC patients, we saw videos on this meeting, and actually as a father of 2 sons, I'm almost not able to watch these videos. You see little children or even adults with enormous crisis of severe dystonia, hemiplegia, extremely painful attacks that can last for minutes to hours. And you cannot, in some cases you can say, okay, if the weather is getting warm or if there will be not enough sleep, we can expect this going to happen. But in most of the cases, in the vast majority of the cases, you have no idea when this will touch you, when this will hit in. So every day can be like, oh, that's a beautiful day, and out of a sudden, you will end up on an intensive care unit. And seeing these videos again really touches me, and really drives us all, I guess. And that's why I think this combination of having parents on this also basic research meeting is very good and very essential, because all the basic researchers and also the physicians that might not see that many patients see what we are all fighting for, what we are all trying to get rid of. Yeah? So help this patient with their enormous, painful, devastating symptoms that they go through every other day. And also on our way to a cure, we have to share our knowledge on what helped the individual patient, because this can be of interest. I have talked to so many parents, and they told me about medications they used for different symptoms, and I didn't know that, yeah? And it worked for them. So we need to collect this knowledge. This will be very nicely done in some systematic studies that are upcoming, but we need also to have it in an easy way while people are collecting that, so that we at least can share this information, what helped and what not, in a very easy, open, and for everybody at all time available protocol or whatever. Yeah, maybe I should catch up with this, what we call classical AHC episodes. As I pointed out also in my talk, there are several risks for life-threatening events, like refractory status epilepticus that can lead to respiratory arrest, severe deterioration, and even can cause death in not that many cases, fortunately, but it can cause. And you have to be equipped with, you have to learn basic life support for your own child. You have to be equipped with all this, and it really can hit extremely hard, and the children can get severely sick. Like I said, they can end on an intensive care unit with then maybe also neurologists who don't know how to deal with this disorder. They don't know what to do, because for this severe episodes, we have critical care guidelines, but not all the physicians know that, and that can be very hard, especially for the parents standing next to their child, going through this very severe episodes and again and again. And we really have to fight for something, and we really have to get more people involved, get more money for research to really end this story for these poor children. I think the serious thing is that it can hit every second. This is a serious thing about it, because there are other very devastating disorders, very devastating, like spinal muscular atrophy, where the kids cannot move at all, but they're extremely conscious, no problem with their cognition, so they see that they are not able to move, and then at some time not able to breathe anymore. But the really evil thing about AHC is that it can come in every second. It can happen everywhere, and then you may be somewhere in the supermarket and it can hit your child, and it can hit so severe that you are afraid that your child can die. And this is extremely hard and extremely, and that's why we all, I think we feel the engagement of everybody who is working on the field when he sees something like that.